Welcome back. Welcome, Bosse. Bosse Day. Welcome, welcome. Remy, welcome. We've missed you all. Nice to have you back. Thank you for coming back. Thank you. So I was just saying, what one word would you use to describe 2020, at least thus far? One word that you use to describe 2020. I was thinking about it, and my one word is hope. Hope. And I'll tell you why. So drop in the comment box. Let's know what your one word is that you use to describe 2020. My one word is hope. Hope, hope, hope. Because every morning when I get up, or even before I go to bed, I always look forward to the next day. There's hope. I'm hoping that the next day will bring better things. Okay, pivotal, restful. 2020 has been phenomenal. Yes, audacious. Oh, I love that, Timmy D. Can you explain a bit more? Grace, interesting, intentional. Okay. Interesting, one word. Yeah, interesting. Clarity, I love that too. Unpredictable. Yeah. Yeah, let's find out what one word. And if you can explain a bit. Shocking. Yeah, Joy, I understand. Yeah. So sorry about your loss. Yeah. Shocking. Yeah, it's been quite shocking for a lot of people. Humbling. Yes, 2020 has humbled a lot of us. All of us. It has humbled us. Intense. It's been intense. It's been insightful too. Yes. And I also think, even though it's two words, more than two words, I was going to say, a lot of us have come out of our comfort zone. Anxiety. There's been a lot of anxiety, in 2020, because it's been so unpredictable. Amazing. Fantastic. 2020 had the nerve to do what it wanted. If we can only have as much audacity as, okay, I understand now, Temidi. Makes sense. Brazen, yes. Mindset change, two words, but yes, mindset change. It's changed our mindset, absolutely. It definitely has changed my mindset. It has. And you see, I think, again, another thing, the year God decided to show the world is stronger. Yes. Challenging, amazing, yes. And I think one thing is, it's helped a lot of, me personally, not to procrastinate. So whatever you want to do, just do it, because you don't know what's around the corner. You honestly don't know what's around the corner. So whatever you want to do it now. Unexplainable, yes. No one can explain it. It's unexplainable. It's been, loads and loads of words that we could use. Let's see if we can bring. Okay, Siju, I'm ready for you now. Thank you. Loving the glasses. Thank you. Surreal, yes, surreal. It has been. It's also been inspiring, yeah. It has. For those that have just joined us, we're talking about one word that you can use to describe 2020, your 2020, one word. I mean, I've said mine is hope. Some people have said interesting, amazing, shocking, exciting, great. Loads and loads of unexplainable, mindset change. What else? Anxiety, intense, humbling. I really love that. Humbling, unpredictable, clarity. And for some people, they received a lot of clarity. Yeah. Abundance. Yes, family, the year of family. Also freeing, I agree. Unpredictable time. Hey!
Hi, everyone.
Wow. Welcome.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. Let me just increase the volume a bit on my end. Yeah.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
How are you? You're doing good.
Thank you.
Please, can we welcome our guest today? Can we give a big hangout welcome? Virtual hugs, please. You know the drill. For the people that are joining us for the first time, we do virtual hugs. So can you please give her a hug, give her, show her you love her. Welcome,
Thank
welcome her.
you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the hugs.
We
Ooh,
love
lots of
you.
hugs.
Loads of hugs,
Thank you.
yes. Loads of
Thank
hugs.
you.
Loads of
Thank
hugs.
you.
I don't know why my nose is running now.
Yeah, mine was running too. I had to clean it before I came online. It's a great day.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome, welcome. So, today we've got a special guest. I call her, there's some feedback. Yeah, I can hear some feedback. Do you have another phone on? Or
No.
you? It's just, yeah, I can hear
Can you hear
feedback,
feedback?
echo.
Oh.
Okay. It's better now.
Is it better now?
Yeah, kind of.
Or is it still there?
It's still there, I think. Can you
Hmm.
guys hear a noise behind, like echo or feedback? Yeah, there's feedback. Yeah, there's feedback.
I wonder where that's coming from. Okay. Let me, because I'm propping my phone up on my laptop. So let me shut it down.
Okay, as it shut down your laptop.
Yes.
Oh, somebody said it's only when I talk. Oh, but when I was on before, it didn't have the feedback.
Okay. Is it better now? Can you still
Yeah,
hear the feedback?
yeah, but they said it's only when I speak.
Oh, okay.
But I don't have any other device. The only thing I have that's on is my phone. I wonder what.
They say it's when you connected to me.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, it wasn't there before you joined, so I don't know what
Okay.
it is.
Shall I go out and come back in?
Yeah, go out and come back in. Let's see. Go out and come back in.
I don't know what to do.
I wonder what happened. I wonder what happened. Okay, so let's hope that when she gets back, it won't be there again. Okay, yeah, welcome to those who have just joined us. Thank you so much. Feedback does get okay. Does she have earpiece or reduced volume? Maybe when she comes back, we'll find out. We'll find out when she gets back. Okay. Let her send in another request. So yes, thank you for those who have just joined us. We're talking about the one word. Oh, okay. To reduce my volume, let me try that. Okay, I'll reduce my volume. Thank you. Hi, Tayo. Welcome, welcome. Dr. Zion, welcome. I think I saw that you joined us. Okay, let me request to have her back with us now. Gina, welcome. Let's see if I can find her. Okay. Yes, if you just, okay.
Okay. How is it now?
Much better. Better.
Okay.
That's fantastic.
Okay, so I've got earpiece on.
Okay. So it
Okay.
must, maybe it was, oh, now you
Maybe
put your
my
earpiece.
phone. Yes.
Oh, you didn't have that on earlier.
No, I didn't.
Ah, okay. I thought
Yeah.
maybe, well, I reduced my volume, so I don't know if that was another.
Okay.
But
Okay.
anyway.
Is everybody happy now? Yes, I think
Yes,
so.
it's much better.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So,
So
yes, I
yeah,
was saying, I've
here I
got
am.
my sister on. I call her, she's my big sis.
Yes.
One of the people that encourages me. She's always supporting me. So, Sister Siju, I want you to know, even though I know you know, I love you very much. Thank you for
I
the
love you
little words.
too. I love you too. Love you
Thank you
too.
for agreeing to join us today on Hangout Cafe. So for those who don't know, I will tell you just a little bit about her. She is Siju Soremekun. I I Abiodun Soremekun, the wife of Abiodun Soremekun. She's a mother to 4 children, 2 girls, 2 boys. Sorry,
Wow.
2 girls and 2
Yes.
boys. Yeah. She's a solicitor. She's an interior decorator. She's a property investor. She's a mentor. And what else? Did I get it right? Anything else I missed out?
Perfect.
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she's been married for nearly 35 years now. 35 years?
Yes, 1986.
1986.
So 96, 10, 2006, 20, 2016, 30. Yes. So this year, 34 years.
34 years. Okay.
So
So
in
nearly 30.
April, so 35 years next year.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing.
I've done well.
We'll get you to tell us a little bit more about that, because we know that 35 years is no joke. It's no
No,
joke.
it's not.
Not at all.
No, it's
So,
not.
but so you've got a lot. I mean, when I think about you, I was thinking, wow, life. The very first Hangout cafe that we had, we talked about couples, and you've surely, definitely had your own share of couples that have been
I've
thrown
caught a
at you.
few.
Yes. So you got married. Tell us, you got married to your sweetheart nearly
Yes.
35 years ago.
Yes.
And so tell us a little bit about that. Let's just start off with that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm old enough now to tell you that I met my husband when I was 17.
Okay.
And yeah, so we got married. How many years later? Met my husband in 1977 when I was in school, in boarding school, when I really shouldn't have been seeing boys. But yeah. So we got married in 1986. We wanted to start a family straight
Okay.
away.
Yeah.
Because that was the way things were done in those days. There was no such thing as waiting. Or, yeah, but yeah, there were fun days. I love to party. My husband loved to party.
He
So that
was a
was all we
DJ,
did when
wasn't
we
he?
first. My husband was a DJ, and
Yeah.
I used to assist him and DJ as well. So we
Last
used to
night you
DJ in
did.
turn.
Last night.
Yeah. Yeah, so we used to take turns DJing before we got married, and after we got married, we kind of partying, because really I don't think we took it that seriously. I think we getting married was just an opportunity to spend more time together and not have to worry about getting home late and being told off. So it was just an opportunity for us to, hey, party all from Monday to Sunday. And in the meantime, of course, we were trying to start a family, but it didn't happen.
Okay.
So 86, 87, 88. So that's I'm going to count it in months, because I think when you're trying to start a family, every month is a letdown.
Yeah.
So so 86, 87, that's 12 letdowns. 88, that's 24. 89. Okay, 87, that's 36. That's a lot.
Okay.
But I fell pregnant in 87, no, 88 April.
Okay.
And that was by IVF. So we started an IVF journey
Okay.
when it didn't happen naturally. And I got pregnant in 88. Did I say 88?
Yeah.
Yes, 88 April.
Okay.
And it was triplets.
Well, wow. You must have been excited then.
I was thrilled.
Wow.
I was absolutely thrilled. I remember going shopping. I remember the Harrods sale that summer. We were standing in the queue for hours to get in. and buying 3 of everything, 3 cots, 3 carrier cots, and it was 2 girls and a boy. We bought
Wow.
2 boys and a girl, beg your pardon.
Okay.
So we bought 3 of everything. We had names for them, and we were absolutely over the moon. And so was my dad and my mom and it was just
Can somebody
the
type
best
in
time.
sorry sis, can somebody type in the topic for me so I can pin it? The audacity of yes. If you type it in.
Yes.
Thanks for reminding us, Bosse. Yes, go on, sis.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. And then fast forward to I think my 20-week scan.
Okay.
They were a little bit worried that one of the babies wasn't growing very well. Didn't seem like all was well.
Okay.
So again, fast forward, I was sent to have some tests. And then the first question we were asked was, what is your genotype? Genotype is something that's unique to, I think, to Black and Asian people, where your blood group, if you're both AS, then the likelihood of having a child who has sickle cell disease is, I think, is 1 in 4.
Okay.
So yeah, we had the tests, and it was discovered that we were both AS, which we didn't know previously. So that was another issue. The doctor was worried. What if all 3 of them are SS? What are you going to do? We were sent for counseling.
Yeah.
It was just totally confusing. So the doctor said, okay, I'm going to do an in vitro test, take amniotic fluid from the babies.
Right.
And then he did another scan, and he said, this is an issue because the 3 babies are in 3 separate sacs, and I've never done this kind of test before. So I'm going to have to talk to my my team and plan it. By this time, I was 24 weeks.
Okay.
So yeah, so we went away and waited for him to call us back. And that weekend, I went into premature labor.
Wow.
And
so how many weeks were you now?
Yeah. I was almost 25.
Almost 25 weeks. Okay.
Yeah. So went into premature labor. All 3. I didn't even know I was in labor. I was that in my usual yes attitude. This is going to go well. Yes, I'm going to have triplets. I've got everything ready. Of course, I have to have triplets. But yeah, it was labor, got to hospital. By that time, I was in advanced labor. The 3 were delivered, and they didn't survive.
Oh, dear. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So,
that must have been just awesome. I said
it
awesome.
was.
My pen. That must have been terrible.
It was awesomely horrible.
Awesomely horrible.
It was. And I mean, I could talk about it now, but then it was like the whole world had come to an end. And I just thought, where are the yeses? Where is the yes, I'm going to have triplets? And, you know, one thing that I remember about that day, and I remember it very clearly, I still remember the face of the midwife who was sitting with me in labor. I kept praying, and I said to God, you know, God, you said ask and we will receive, seek and we will find, knock and the door will be opened unto us. I have to knock on that. I'm knocking on the door, stop this labor. I'm asking that, you know, you see me through. But, you know, it didn't happen. I gave birth to them, and they didn't survive. And I was quite cross with God. And I remember actually saying to God, I am not going to speak to you again. I don't think we're friends anymore because this is just not right. And and again, another thing that I remember very well, and I say is that I had an excellent support system.
Okay.
My mom had come to stay with me to look after the triplets when they were born. When my dad heard what happened, he jumped on the first plane. I remember my husband fainted in the labor ward. They had to leave me to pick him up, and get him back to life. So when I was discharged, I was moaning and, you know, complaining. I was just so distraught. But
understandably, 3.
Yeah.
3. Wow.
Yeah, 3.
I mean, 1 is bad enough. 3
exactly.
Go.
3
wow.
at the go. After all that planning and preparing, and I could look around and see all the stuff that I'd bought.
Yeah.
And thankfully, they hadn't delivered the big furniture.
Okay.
Yeah, the cots. So as I was saying, while I was preparing for this, I actually found the letter It's funny. I was clearing up the house and I found the letter that my dad wrote to me.
Wow,
the
that's long
week
ago.
that long ago. It's
Wow.
just, quite surreal. I found the letter that my dad wrote to me that week. And,
Oh, please read it. Have you got it with you?
okay. I have it with me.
Okay.
And I hope one thing it does for me is, one thing it did for me, it made me very passionate about parenting,
Okay.
about how much you need to be there and support your children through whatever.
Yeah.
It was his disappointment as well, but he put himself away, and he wrote to me. I'll read it very quickly. And he said, "My dear Siju, when I got to Harrods, I told the lady who sold the cuts to you all that happened, and I told her that we're willing to pay the balance if they would keep the cuts for you,
Right.
until you need it for your next baby." And he said, "Remember how much I've told you, yourself and your husband, that this will pass." The lady said, "In the circumstances, the company will refund your deposit. I have therefore taken the deposit, and the sum of, I think he said £167.60 is enclosed herewith.
Okay.
I think we should wait, because about a year from now, new trends will come out, and you can buy the cuts then.
Wow.
I've left my checkbook. I have signed checks. There's a balance of X amount in the account. You may spend as much of it as you wish." My dad was very, very indulgent. And he said, he wasn't like that when I was growing up. It was only when I stopped being wild. And he said, "When I get back home, I'll send in some more money as soon as possible.
Oh.
Shiju, you know how much we love you, and that your joy is our joy, your sorrow is our sorrow. Every one of us knows how painful the experiences of the past few days have been. We, however, firmly believe that our joy will come shortly.
Amen.
Just have faith.
Wow.
We know God loves us.
Yeah.
He knows what is best for us. He will replace this sorrow with rejoicing at no distant date. One more thing I ask of you and your husband: do not sorrow anymore.
Wow.
Pray always. God will answer your prayers. Your father."
Oh.
And this was the 10th of January, 1989.
Wow.
I lost the triplets on the 5th of January, 1989.
Wow. Wow. What a loving father. Oh my goodness. That's quite touching. That is quite touching. Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm going to have to frame that letter.
Yes, frame it. Keep it. Make sure you don't lose it. And you've kept
I
it
won't lose
for
it.
many years now anyway.
For so many years, and I didn't even know that I still had it. Yeah.
Wow. That's so awesome.
So, yeah. So, fast forward.
Yes, fast forward.
Now, when I had the egg recovery, should I just explain that very briefly?
Yes.
Because back in the day, when you had IVF, they would stimulate your ovaries and recover as many eggs as they could. Yeah. So they recovered many eggs. They fertilized, and I think I had 12 eggs fertilized. Okay. They put back 3, so I had 9 in freezing. They freeze them.
Okay.
So I went back, and they put back 1 this time, because they were worried after I'd lost the triplets that I didn't have another multiple pregnancy. Yeah. And that one, a year later, is my eldest son, Kito. Ooh. So he's a frozen embryo baby. Wow. And yes, I went through that pregnancy. I was determined that nothing was going to go wrong. I just did everything possible. Strangely, I went into labor. I had a threatened labor when I was about 29 to 30 weeks. But I thought, no. Yes, you're going to be born, whether you like it or not. So thank God, everything went well, and he was born.
Oh, one thing I forgot. So when you said you're AS, and your husband is AS too.
Yes.
So what was Keton SS or anything?
No.
Wow. Amazing God.
When just rewind a little. When we went back, I didn't manage to go back for the test anyway because I'd lost the triplets. Yeah. But when I got pregnant with Keton, I was too frightened to even go and have an in vitro test, because you can. because I thought, what am I going to do if they say he's SS? I'm not about to go have a termination. I'm just going to pray. So I just prayed and I just believed that he's going to be fine.
Right.
Just be audacious. That was my word. Be audacious. This is going to go well. It has to go well.
Yeah.
And yes, so he was born. And when he was about 2 weeks old, they said they would do the test to check his genotype.
Right.
And it's funny that on the day that he was tested, my husband was so frightened after they took the blood sample that he was leaving the hospital and he walked straight in front of a bus without looking. He nearly got run over.
Wow. Wow.
But thank God.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because he's AS. He's
Wow.
not.
So
He's not
AS.
SS. He's AS.
Yes. Okay.
And yeah. So, and as
And
God
then
would
you
have it,
rapidly had the rest.
yeah, I brought Keaton home from hospital exactly a year to the day that I lost the triplets.
Oh.
So isn't God kind?
God restored.
Isn't God
He
kind?
restored.
They say tears may endure for a nighttime, but joy comes in the morning. Yeah. And it was
Amazing.
just amazing. Yeah. And then, yeah, a year later, I had Kumi without IVF.
Wow.
I don't know what happened. Keaton must have opened the floodgates.
Yes. Yes.
And another year later, I had
Yeah.
Kitoe. So I had 3 children in 3 years.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what do I
And then
say? Fast forward
10
almost
years
10 years later, 10 years
You had
later,
another.
I had Tammy.
Now that I remember you being pregnant with Tammy. I was like, oh my God, what's this one day pregnant at this?
No, I was so embarrassed because I was 40. So how easily men forget. I was actually embarrassed.
So were
This
you trying
means
to
I was
hide? You were
desperate.
trying to
I
hide.
tried to hide it for as long as possible. I remember somebody asking me in church, Siju, are you pregnant? I said, no, I'm not. I think I've just put on weight. And then I hid away from church for a very long time. But yeah, Tammy was born.
Now she's your old age baby. But
Yes.
it's amazing how quickly they grow because Tammy is now in uni.
Tammy's 18 now. Yes,
Amazing.
in uni. Yeah, after all that. Yeah.
But they're all a reminder of God's faithfulness.
God's faithfulness.
And his
Yeah,
restoration.
God's goodness. Yeah. And I remember when I was complaining about losing the triplets, and I had a very simplistic view of what that promise means when God says, ask and you receive, seek and you find, knock and the door will be opened unto you. Yeah. And I think losing the triplets actually gave me a deeper understanding because I was talking to my mother and saying, I asked, I didn't receive, I sought, I didn't find, I knocked, the door wasn't open, I still had them. What's going on? How could God not come through? How could he say this? And I remember what she told me. She said, but you did, you received grace. You've received strength to go through it. She said, you've received hope.
Yep.
You've received. God is not a man that he would lie. Everything he said he would do, he would do.
Wow.
And when I had Keaton, she said, do you see?
Wow.
You've received.
Wow.
You asked and you've received. It's not the way you thought.
Yeah.
But you have.
Wow, but that's actually quite profound because that's true. When we say, oh, knock on the door, we're thinking about specific things. But
exactly.
God, the grace, the simple things that we don't even think of, the grace, the strength to go through. Wow.
Exactly. And the way I see it is, just lift up your pain, and underneath it, you'll find something that God gave. And for me, that's what he gave. He gave me strength. And even to today, yes, I don't want to be tested that way anymore by the grace of God. But he gave me a strength, a new strength that saw me through later challenges that will come to.
Okay, before we go on, somebody asked a question. How did you become friends again with God after you got annoyed with him?
After I said I wouldn't talk to him. I think eventually I realized that I had nowhere else to go.
Mm.
Once you're in it for the you're in it for the ride.
Yeah.
Where else would I go? That's where I found strength.
Yeah.
That's where I found hope for tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I eventually started to talk to him again,
And that's how
because that's all we've got. That's the best parents
yeah.
for any child.
Yeah.
And we are all his children.
Absolutely.
We need him. And those are the times that I needed him the most. The time that I said I wouldn't speak to him anymore. And I found myself going back. Even in complaining, I was speaking to him.
Mm. Mm.
So I eventually made friends with him again. And he whispered encouragement to me day by day. Yeah.
Is that good? Okay, so
Yeah.
going on now. So you have all these children. What was it like marriage for the first few years? What was it like?
The first few years, as I said, we were just playing, really. We were just having fun and partying.
Okay.
Of course, there's no perfect marriage. That's one thing I would say to anyone, to every young person, to everyone. There's no such thing as perfect.
Okay.
And people don't change. So who
People
you
don't
marry
change.
is who you've got.
Okay, yeah.
So
But we're
you need
always
to be
wanting them
sure.
to change. We want them to
No,
change.
people don't change. You change.
Mm.
I have changed.
Mm.
You're the only person you can change.
Yeah.
So the things that I used to take so seriously, like we used to quarrel over the simplest things. Like if we were driving to a place and I said, let's turn right, and he said, no, I'm going straight, I would get angry. And we would quarrel there, and I would just be waiting for him to get lost. And I would say, see, if you had gone the way I said, you would be there by now. See? And if you ask me,
And
oh,
in
why don't you?
those
And
days,
in
you
those
didn't
days,
have those days we
it
didn't
was
have
A to Z. We didn't have a
Google
sat
Map
nav.
or
Yeah.
Waze or
We didn't have any such thing. It was that big book. And he
that
would say,
big A
okay,
to
so
Z.
tell me, which way do I turn? I say, I don't know. I don't know which way you turn. You didn't do what I said. So, okay, well, yeah, find it yourself. But I'm different now. I've matured. So you're the only person you can change. That's what I would tell anyone.
Yeah.
So know exactly what you're going in for, and know that, yeah, you change, you mature. The things that used to annoy me, they don't annoy me now.
Yeah.
I just know who I've got, know what you've got.
No, but it's always,
Yeah.
I mean, I say this all the time. I say that, especially when you get married, you come from different backgrounds, different upbringings and stuff like that. Even if you quarrel with your siblings that you live together, but then you
Exactly.
expect that, oh, I'll marry this man because we love,
Yeah.
everything will be,
Yeah.
no. You're about to
No.
quarrel, you're about to get on each
No.
other's nerves, but
Mm-hmm.
after a
Yeah.
while, things will settle down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
It's the audacity of yes.
yeah.
It's the audacity of yes. You said yes. They said, wilt thou take this man? And you said yes.
You said yes.
So you've taken this man. Of course, unless your life is in danger, then of course I'm
physical
not telling
abuse,
anybody
verbal abuse,
exactly abuse, emotional abuse that you can, that endangers your health and well-being.
Yeah.
But the normal, usual things, you always remember that you've been audacious. It's audacity of yes, to go into a lifetime commitment and be married to a man.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just
yes.
make adjustments.
Make adjustments.
And keep that in
like
focus.
That. Compromise.
Yes.
Somebody said that.
Yeah.
Compromise. Tolerance.
Yes. Tolerance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not insisting on your own way.
Having your own
and
way.
Even that's one of the fruits of the spirit.
Yeah.
Love does not insist on its own way.
Okay, so you were married. Now you have three. This is before.
4. Yes.
No, after Tammy. And then another curveball was thrown at you.
Yes.
So,
yeah. So in what year was it? So this is 2020. The Anos Horrible. Yeah. In 2009. No, 2008. I lost my mom, my dear mom.
Okay.
Before I went to Nigeria for my mom's funeral, I developed headaches. Now, I'd had headaches for about 6 months prior, and I just thought they were migraines. And everybody that knew me at work, you know, they were like, oh, okay, she's got a migraine. And I'll turn the lights off in my office and sit in the dark. I didn't know that it was anything more sinister than headaches.
Okay.
Then over time, I started having issues with my left eye.
Okay.
The muscle was weak. So if I wanted to move my gaze from left to right, I noticed that my left eye would like stay on the thing that I was looking at before I tried to look at something else. And then eventually developed into double vision.
Right.
So by December 2008, when I lost my mom, I had really bad double vision in one eye. I remember driving down a road which was just 2 lanes, one coming, one going.
Yeah.
And suddenly I could see 4 lanes.
Whoa.
And I called the hospital and they said, come straight into A&E, and they did all tests. They didn't find anything. Okay. I went to Nigeria for my mom's funeral. After the funeral, I developed, the headaches got worse, the double vision got worse. And thanks to my brother-in-law, Dr. Shea Roberts. If anybody's watching, shout out to Dr. Shea Roberts, he's amazing. So he looked at my eye just after the funeral and he said, Siju, when did you develop a squint? I can't remember you having a squint. And he said, I'm a bit concerned. He's a neurologist, by the way. Okay. And he said, I think you should go back to England. And as soon as you get back home, go to the eye hospital and ask them to have a look at it. But I think it's more than that.
Right.
I think you need an MRI. Okay. So I came back and I went to the eye hospital. The doctor saw the eye and he said, yes, I'm going to take you straight to MRI. Fast forward, had the MRI. That evening, I got home, a knock on the door from the accident and emergency. They brought a letter and said, you have an aneurysm. I didn't even know what that meant. You have to go to your GP. So I called my doctor.
Can you explain for those who don't know what it is?
Yes. So I called my brother. My brother's a doctor. And I told him, oh, I have this letter from A&E. They say I have an aneurysm. So now an aneurysm is, it's a bulging artery in your brain. Well, this time it was in my brain. We have arteries everywhere in our bodies. Yeah. But an aneurysm will develop when part of an artery is weak. Okay. So part of an artery in my brain was weak. So blood was flowing into it and it was bulging on one side. Okay. So if you imagine a pipe or a balloon, but one side is bulging, put liquid water in it and one side bulges. So blood was flowing into a bulged part. So it was like, this is the stem and this is the aneurysm. Yeah. And it was a large one. So my brother was very worried, of course. Everybody was worried. And he started consulting all the neurologists that he knew. And it was decided that it had to be operated on. Okay. So thank God for technology and science advancements. They didn't do an open head surgery because they said that would be fatal because it was such a large aneurysm. Okay. So it was actually done through my groin. Okay. So they did an incision in my groin and put whatever they do all the way from my groin, because there's a major artery that runs through your groin all the way up to your brain.
Amazing.
And and that was how it was mended. But I'll tell you a little bit about the journey that day, on the day of my surgery.
Yes, you told. Yes, please tell. Yes.
So I woke up in the morning. They told me I was first in theater. So one of the team came to see me. He was the consultant. He wasn't the surgeon, but he's the consultant that would be looking at it, because they have radiologists, consultants that guide the surgeon when they're going through from your groin to your brain on a screen. So he came to me and he said, I just need to tell you a little bit about this operation. I need to tell you how long it's going to take. It could take anything between 6 and 12 hours, depends on how complex it is. And I thought, what? And he said, but you'll be under anesthesia, so you don't feel anything. Then he said, and the next thing I need to tell you is the dangers. This is a very complex operation, and in some cases, it could mean death.
Wow. Just before.
So when he said that, I thought, what? And he said, so I said, so what's the percentage? What do you mean death? So, well, 50-50. So I said, so what if I change my mind?
Yeah.
And I decide not to have the surgery? Because if it means death, I don't want to die. So he said, well, eventually you will die of it.
You will die
if you don't have it.
it.
You will die of it. And I thought, pardon? Okay. All right. So, yeah. He left. And I think I'm strong in my determination and in my faith.
Right.
So I prayed and I said, God, yes, they said all this. Yes, I'm going through with this. I'm not going to run away. But God, I don't want to die. So you're going to have to tell me that I won't die. You're going to have to say, yes, I'm going to survive.
Yeah.
And I want you to say yes now.
Yeah.
And I heard God. And he said to me, if only you believe, you will see the salvation of the Lord. Wow. So I said, yes, okay. And then I said, so God, you need to keep talking to me until they take me down to theater and everything, just to encourage, because you've said, yes, I'm going to survive. Yeah. And God said, I'm not going to talk to you again till 3:00 this afternoon. And I said, God, it's only 6:00 in the morning. That is 9 hours. You're going to leave me for that long? And I didn't hear anything after that. So I went back to my bed. They came, got me ready, get on the theater trolley. And the way that the enemy deals with our minds, I heard quite clearly, these are the people that take people down to the mortuary.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
And I looked and I thought, and it was those hospital porters.
Yeah.
And I thought, what? Okay. And then I remembered that God had said to me, I'm not going to speak to you again till 3:00. So I said, get thee behind me. And we carried on, got in the lift, got out. And then we got to the theater, and they started preparing the anesthesia, and the doctor was talking to me. The anesthetist was talking to me. And I heard, in my Father's house, there are many mansions. I've gone to prepare a place for you. The where I am, you may be also. And I thought, yes, this is God. This is the word. This is the word. So that means I'm going to die. But it wasn't God. He had told me he wasn't going to speak to me till 3:00. This was only 7. So I thought, thank you, God. I said, get thee behind me. This is the devil. He knows the Bible.
He does. Did he quote the Bible to Jesus? He quoted the Bible to Jesus.
Yes. Told him to cast himself down. So, yeah, the next thing, I fell under the anesthesia. And this is the funny part. I woke up in recovery, and I could hear the doctors say, wake up, Siju, everything's fine, wake up. And I opened my eyes, and there was a clock right above my bed, and I looked at it, and it was 3:00.
Wow.
And I heard God whisper to me, didn't I tell you that if you believe, you will see
amazing
my glory?
God. Amazing God. Amazing God.
That just
God is awesome. God
yes.
is awesome.
When God says yes, he means yes.
Yeah.
And it just taught me how to hear God. Because all that in my Father's house, it had a snigger to it.
Yeah.
But when God spoke to me, it had a peace. It had a calm.
I love that.
It had a reassurance.
Love that.
And it was gentle. That's how God speaks to us.
Wow.
And all we have to say is, yes, God.
Yes, God.
Yes, God. Be audacious in your trust. That's what I would say to anyone going through a similar challenge like I
Be
went through.
audacious in your
Be
trust.
audacious in your trust.
Mm.
Be audacious.
No,
Yeah.
that's why we have to be very careful, because the devil knows the word too. And I mean, look
He
at
does.
in my father's house there are
Yeah.
many mansions.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be
Yeah.
okay. So that means
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
Well, thank God, God has spoken to you earlier on, and He said,
He
"I'm
had.
not going to speak to
He
you
had.
until 3."
He said so. He said so. And yes, here I am.
Here you are. Thank God. Tell us
Here I am.
the joke you played on the nurse.
Yes.
When you opened
Yes.
your eyes.
Yes. Again, audaciously. So they came round while I was in intensive care
Yeah.
to check my responses, because when you've had brain surgery,
Yeah.
you have to lie still. My head was in a bit of a clamp, and they came to test my responses that I was okay. And she said, "Hi, Siju. So where are you now?" And I just wanted to tease them, to frighten them a little, because I was feeling so well, I couldn't believe it. So I said, this was only like a few hours after I came round.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm in school. And she was like, what? School? I said, yes. And she said, so is it daytime? I said, yeah, the sun is shining. It was dark outside, of course. It was late. I said, yeah, the sun is shining brightly. And then I said, no, I'm just joking. And the doctor could not believe it. She said, if all my patients would get better this quickly to tease us like this, she said, and if you ever do that again, I'm going to get a big plaster and stick it over your mouth and not let you talk till you leave this hospital. But yeah, they knew I was well enough to be moved to a ward by the following morning. And yeah, that was my road to recovery.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. Thank
Yeah.
God. Oh God, we're so grateful. Thank God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I know you have a friend. I don't think she's on this on the platform, Sister Chitu, because I don't
Oh,
know how
my friend is she's technically challenged.
she's technically, but she's always teasing her. You know, when Sister Shiju gets upset with her, you tell her, Shiju, don't get upset. You know you have a metal in your brain, and
That
that thing can
toothpick.
explode.
Yeah. Oh, she calls it all sorts of things. The toothpick in my brain, the sellotape.
He's always teasing her. The thing will just, don't get upset. Don't you get upset.
Yeah, when she annoys me, then she tells me not to get upset so that the sellotape in my brain won't snap.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
But
We
yeah,
should leave
yeah.
attitude. So we this we should leave attitude alone. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, but we don't
Yeah.
seriously, we thank God. But you're well now. Everything is
Yes,
fine.
I'm well. I have checkups all the
Okay.
time, but yeah, I'm well. Um, I'm fine. Everything is fine. Yeah, it's great. I was back at my desk about a month later. I was
Okay.
back dealing with clients, which
Okay.
was amazing. It was
Wow.
amazing. My recovery was amazing.
Thank God.
Yeah, yeah, thank God. Thank God.
Okay, so
Yeah.
before we go, fast forward to 2020. Tell us another
2020.
2020.
Yes,
What
this
happened?
time, COVID. Just after we had Esther's 10, and then I started feeling funny.
Okay.
Nobody knew very much about COVID then.
Yeah.
So I think I was in denial. I kind of suspected that this was what it was, because I started having funny headaches. But then I would tell myself, well, maybe it's just the aneurysm. And, sometimes you get headaches with it. And then I started getting weak.
Okay.
And then I started getting chest pains and back pains. And, my brother, who's a cardiologist, he always thinks that, we just like to consult doctor. We like to call him for everything. I mean, all my friends call him. If they have this bad sneeze, they call him. So I called him. I said, oh, my chest hurts. He said, oh, stop. You're not having a heart attack. Just stop. So I said, okay. But this chest pain got worse. And it got to the point where every time I took a breath, my chest hurts.
Okay.
And then I got increasingly weak. I was bedridden. I developed a cough. I kept calling 111, and they told me, okay, stay in bed, try and stay out of the way. How many people do you live with? Of course, I lived with I lived with my 4 children at that time. They hadn't moved, and my husband, and we were in the same room as God would have it.
Wow.
He didn't catch it then.
Okay.
And then I got really sick. Thank God to everyone that called me. Thank you to you and your dear husband, and my pastor and my friends calling me and asking how I was. Everybody got really worried. And it was so bad. If there's anybody out there thinking that COVID is a joke, it's not a joke. This was a time when I actually said to God, I am audacious, and you have to say, yes, you live again. You have to say this to me, God, because it was bad.
Wow.
Even taking a walk to the bathroom, which is just opposite my room, was a journey.
Wow.
But
so did you ever get I think one of the things that where you can't breathe, did you ever get to that stage where you couldn't breathe properly?
I got to the stage where I could not breathe.
But you didn't go to hospital?
I didn't go to hospital because I had my brother. He
Okay.
would call on FaceTime and he would tell me, take a deep breath. And because I'm asthmatic, again, I think God plans everything. Nothing happens to harm you. So my plans for you are for good and not for ill. Of course, my parents must have thought when I had really bad asthma as a child that, oh my God, why is she having this, But it was the fact that I had my inhalers. That, I believe, is what helped me. Because when I couldn't breathe, my brother would say, take your inhaler, take your brown inhaler, take 2 puffs. He would take a deep breath. He would practice exercises with me on the phone. Then after about 2 weeks of being in bed constantly, because I couldn't move, I was so weak, he would force me to get out of bed, do breathing exercises, take a short walk. Eventually, he forced me to go out into the garden, walk up and down, take a deep breath, because apparently one of the dangers of COVID infection is a blood clot. And so that, I believe, is what saved my life. And God was there. I prayed like never before, even though I couldn't pray any, what we call jim prayers. I couldn't jump up and down and speak in tongues. I could just say, Lord, save me, I don't want to die. Save me, this is bad. So, I was really sick for 3 weeks. And
so did you lose your taste?
I had no sense of taste, no sense of smell. I didn't eat for like 2 weeks. I didn't eat at all. All I could take was Lucozade. I couldn't eat. I couldn't taste anything. I couldn't smell anything. Even now, I can't really smell. Like I get so excited with air freshener. I love air freshener and room fragrances. And sometimes I spray so much that my whole house is choking because I can't smell it.
You can't smell it.
I'm like, Mom, what are you doing? We can't breathe. Please stop with these air fresheners. But I'm getting it back slowly, but I still can't. I really can't smell.
So apart from the not being able to smell, but what other after effects do you have? Like, do you think?
Occasionally I get chest pain.
Okay.
And sometimes I still get breathless when I take a long walk. I exercise every day now. Okay. Because of the danger of blood clots, which they say is one of the real dangers. Okay. And recently I had a scare because I had a blood test that showed that my body had been dealing with some blood clots. Whoa. So, but so I exercise every day.
But you were fine when
I still get a
checkup on that.
Yeah, I went for a checkup. They said they couldn't find anything. They're still going to constantly, check. They've asked me to go for a scan, but I'm fine. I'm here, but I'm very, very, very diligent in wearing my mask, washing my hands. I was just saying to someone, yes, I'm turning 60 next year. But
Whoa! Whoa!
I,
Whoa! Are you serious?
yes,
Wow!
but maybe I'll just leave it till 2022 because I don't think I used this year.
Sorry, you used
I
what?
don't think we used this year.
Oh, okay. I see
All
what
we
you
did
mean.
was wash our hands. So,
Wow.
but yeah, I'm
60
60
next
next
year.
year.
Amazing.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
wow. Oh, wow.
yeah.
Hmm.
So I'm going to be
You have to
celebrating a lot
celebrate.
of things.
Have a
Yes,
real party.
yeah, yeah.
Have
I
a
am.
real party.
I am. Yeah.
Whoa.
Mhm. Yeah.
You don't look it at all, sis.
Are you
You
flattering
don't.
me?
Yeah, you don't. Wow.
Oh, I don't feel it.
Did anyone else in the house get it?
Um, my son got sick, but you know those
Your
were
your son.
my third born, my son Akitoye. He got
Okay, okay.
sick. Um, so, but you know, I was so sick, I didn't ask after him. I didn't even leave my room to check on him.
Okay.
So he was in bed, but he got better.
Okay.
Many months later, my husband tested positive,
Oh wow.
but he didn't
I'm sure
have
you
any
guys kept out of
symptoms.
his way.
Completely, completely out of his way. He locked himself up in the room. He wouldn't even come out. He would knock on the door when he was coming out of the bedroom so that we could all get out of the way. It was, I mean, these have been just strange. This is a strange year. But we're here. Yes, yes, we're here.
What was it? Bola said, yes, okay, you must call her sis. I call her sis already. I don't call her by name. I call her sis. You know me, I was brought up well. I call her sis, so how can I call her by her name? She's my big
Oh,
sis.
yes, yes, yes. So,
Wow.
yeah, it's been a journey. I've been audacious in
Wow.
many ways. I've been audacious. Hey, I was telling someone that there was a time in my youngest daughter in her school, they used to call me super mom because they couldn't believe it when I told them that I had three older children, and they were all in private school at that time. So we had four children in private school, and were they
How
tough
did you
times?
cope?
They were crazy times, and they thought, how did you cope? How did we cope? Yes, it was tough, but
Wow.
again, the audacity of yes, people told me, just forget this thing. It's just too much. But we coped. We coped. I'm not criticizing anybody who couldn't, who decided to stop doing it. Because I tell you, private school and private school fees,
Yeah. It's no joke.
no joke,
No
no
joke at
joke,
all.
no joke. I mean, I keep checking my bank account now that they're all out,
Hmm.
all doing well, and thinking, well, where's that money?
It's just the
Where's
grace
that
of
school
God.
fee?
Seriously. It's just
Yeah,
the grace
just
of
the
God.
grace of God.
Yeah.
It's just the grace of God. God supplies our needs,
Yes.
not our
Yeah.
wants.
Yeah.
That's what I can say
Yeah.
about those times.
Yeah.
Yeah, He supplies our needs.
Yeah.
And do I regret it? No, I don't.
No. No.
They're all doing well.
Yeah.
Kitoe told me recently that I'm their child now. So they have to look after me.
And it must be really nice where they're all working, apart from Tammy, who's at uni, but the three of them are
Yes,
working. It's because I know
yes.
what it's like at home, where the two that I have
Hmm.
are working and they're buying stuff in
Yeah,
the house. It's just, and
I
you look back
know.
and you
It's
think,
just
God, thank
amazing.
you.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Lord. I mean,
Yeah.
Kito, our eldest, recently got a job in Dubai, so he's moved to Dubai. So Dubai, here I come. So I'm
Oh, no,
looking forward
it's
to
really good.
to that. Yeah, and yeah, Kumi is doing well. She's working in trade.
Yeah.
She's in finance, doing very well. Kitoye is doing very well as well. I'm actually in Kitoye's house.
Okay.
He moved.
Okay. There's a
So,
question, says, any advice
yeah,
for young mamas?
yes, yes. I'm passionate about children.
Okay.
Young mamas, be there for your children. Don't take your frustrations out on them.
Yeah.
We all get periods as mothers when we're frustrated, when it's too much, when it seems like, you're a square peg in a round hole.
Yeah.
But try very hard. Take deep breaths. Do you know my son Kitoye? He was quite naughty when he was growing up, and I used to scream at him and smack him from time to time. And he reminds me, and I'm always saying, "Oh, sorry, darling." And, I wish I knew now what I knew. I wish I knew then what I know now.
Yeah.
I tell young mothers, when you're really frustrated, go into another room and scream as loudly as you can. Scream loudly. Talk to yourself.
Yeah.
Talk to yourself. I think I've told this story about this man in the supermarket, and he was pushing a supermarket trolley, and he had a really naughty child. Those children that you want to help their parents to deal with when you see them in the supermarket. Really naughty child. And the child was trying his patience, taking things off the shelf, and he was saying, that's okay, James. I think he was saying, that's okay, James. You're all right, James. You're good, James. You're calm enough, James. You can deal with this, James. And someone said to him, by the time he got to the till, that, wow, you're very good and calm. You were talking to James and telling him to behave himself. And you just kept talking. You didn't hit him. And he said, he's not James. I'm James.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. So, talk to yourself. Talk to yourself. Just tell yourself, it's okay. It's okay, it's all right. It's okay, Siju. You can do this. You're good. You're not going to smack this child.
That's a good
So,
one.
yeah,
That's
talk
a good
to yourself and surround yourself with, good friends who will help you. Yeah. Talk to yourself. Don't take out your frustrations on them. It's not their fault that we go through what we go through. Yeah. And support them.
Think you should enjoy the moment, especially when they're young. Enjoy them at that age. Because before you know it, especially when they get into teenage years, they go to university, they want to do their own stuff. So whilst they're still young, enjoy the time with them.
Enjoy that time.
It's so important.
It. Yeah.
It's so important. And I think also young mamas, sometimes we put a lot of pressure on ourselves because of what we see other mamas doing. This child, my child walked before 1. I was like, oh, my child hasn't walked. My child is almost 2. My child hasn't done this. My child hasn't done that.
Doesn't matter.
Each child is different. Every child is different. So don't put yourself under any pressure, babe, please.
No pressure. No pressure at all. Yeah. I mean, we practiced on the first 3. With Tammy, it's totally different. She's so different, and children are different.
Yeah.
Now, if I tell her, oh, you've upset me a little, she just says, Mom, calm down. Please stop being a drama queen. Yes. So children are so different. They're different. So different. Yeah. Just calm down. Just enjoy the difference.
Yeah.
Enjoy the difference.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sister Siju. If you've got any questions for her before we go, any questions? Anything, marriage, children, anything. She's legal, interior decoration, she's all of that. Yeah, don't put yourself on. In fact, there was something I posted a few years ago that I might repost. I was talking about how when I was working then, as in I had a secular job, and those mothers that were not working used to put one under a lot of pressure. Oh, you didn't come for your child's this. Oh, you didn't come for your child's that. I'm just like, oh my God, I'm working. I have to work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Super moms who can get everything done. Their child's homework is done. Everything is perfect. No. Not everybody can do that. I couldn't. I had a job. I worked long hours. I'd get home. Sometimes homework wasn't done. It was too late to wake them up. And I'll be thinking, what am I going to do?
You know the one I used to hate? Having to make lunch, pack lunch for kids to take. I didn't like that.
Do you know, I used to choose. I used to not choose a school if they had packed lunch. I insisted that they all go to a school where they had lunches because I didn't have the energy to pack lunch. I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. So just pace yourself. Do
Oh,
what you
God.
can. Do what you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. There's no such
No.
thing as a perfect mom or a
Mm.
perfect wife or a perfect. No, there are no perfects. The only perfect is God.
It's only God. It's only God.
Yeah,
And you, oh God,
yeah.
maybe I don't know. Maybe I wasn't a fantastic mom because even those parents thing that they all do together, hanging out together. I didn't like that. Maybe because I'm an introvert. So I'm like, please let me just
I
pick up
didn't
this
even
child
have
and
the
go.
time. Yeah, I didn't even have the time to hang out. I didn't. I was working. So yeah, I
Yes, thank
didn't.
God that phrase.
But
Yeah, just thank God that phrase is over. Ah,
that phase is
thank
over.
God.
Over. Yeah, over. I
Not
can look back.
school runs.
Yeah,
Those that are still
yeah.
doing school runs, I'm so ekpele, as they say, ekpele.
I will happily do grammar school runs. So
I
that's what I'm
know, me,
looking
I'm not
forward
doing.
to now.
Mm.
I'll do it because I can hand them back and I can
Okay,
say
well,
no.
yeah.
I can say no on certain days because I have a choice. Yes.
Oh God, sorry. There was a question about I think there was a question about what's your greatest achievement so far, sis. I saw that.
Okay. Um, hmm, my children. My
Okay,
children.
okay. There's another one, but go on. Yeah.
My children.
Okay, her
That's my
children, her
those are my
greatest achievement.
greatest achievements.
Okay.
And my inspiration again, I'll say it was my dad. I
Okay.
remember once he was interviewed for this book called Who is Who in Nigeria.
Mm,
And they asked him, what is your greatest achievement? And he said, my children.
yeah. Yeah.
And when I was reading that book, everybody was saying, oh, how when they made their first million and this and that. And we all laughed at him when we were reading. We said, oh, he's so dry. You know, he had to say my children. Why did he say when I did this and when when I took silk as a lawyer, say something exciting. He had to say my children.
My
Such a
children.
boring man. Now I know that's,
Mm,
yeah,
mm,
my children.
yeah.
It's the next generation
Yeah.
that's how your greatest achievement will be tested. And it doesn't even have to be the children. It could be the people whose lives you've impacted.
Mm-hmm.
They will tell your story.
Mm,
Um,
mm,
so, as I said before, your purpose is never about you.
no.
It's about other people,
People. Absolutely.
people whose lives you impact. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, my children are my greatest achievement. I look at them and I thank God.
Thank God.
They've done well.
Okay,
Yeah.
there's another question. With everything, how do you keep the intimacy in your marriage? How do you keep the intimacy in your marriage?
Okay. It's You have to make the effort.
Yeah, I just think it has to be intentional.
Yeah.
Plan it.
You
Yeah.
have to be intentional. You have to
Yeah.
plan it. You have to be determined. Especially when I mean, 4 children. Where's the time for you and he? There's just no time. You're just so busy trying to earn a living, trying to pay school fees, trying to look after the house, try. And intimacy can very quickly disappear.
Mm,
I mean, I can say that.
yeah.
I can tell you that after 35 years of marriage. But you have to be intentional.
Yeah.
You have to be determined.
Yeah. And
Um,
especially when you've got children, you need help.
yes,
So ask for
you
help
do.
so you can go out
Yeah.
for dates with your
Hmm.
hobby.
Yes.
So yeah,
Make the
just
time
make
and
time.
communicate.
Mm,
Communicate. Try very hard. Communicate with each other.
yeah.
Try and find a little bit of time in the busyness and the craziness of parenting and of life,
Yeah.
where you ask each other,
Yeah.
what am I doing right?
Mm,
Or what am I doing wrong?
yeah.
And listen.
And listen.
That's intimacy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Communicate. Yes. Someone said, "Oh yes, I need that. I'm always tired."
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Do, don't I know? Yes. So maybe um, some things will have to wait
Mm,
so that you're not always tired.
okay.
I find that a lot of the things that we do, we don't have to do
Yeah.
always.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's again because there's that quest for perfection.
Yes. 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 Yes.
So you have to get away from that quest for perfection.
Yeah. Yeah.
So even though the title of our Hangout Cafe today is the audacity of yes, I think there's also the audacity of no.
No. Yes. To be able to
To
say
no. Say no to yourself. I'm not going to have to, clean that place squeaky clean and, do those dishes all the time and plump all the cushions all the time. Just find the time to just leave some things so that some things can happen, because you can't do everything. So you have to prioritize. Stop doing those things all the time that don't necessarily matter, because not everything matters.
You're tired. Just take a break.
So you find time for yourself. Take a break.
It's so important to find time for yourself. It's so
take a break. Yeah, I'm sure there's a time. Sometimes we go for breakfast. Go for breakfast with your friends.
Yes, with your
doesn't have to be for a long one. Yeah. Find time for your girlfriends. It's important.
Girlfriends are important.
Yeah, girlfriends are important. They give you strength.
Yes.
Yeah, and you can time to chill.
Yep.
Yeah, find time to chill. Watch Netflix.
Have a cup of tea.
Yeah. Yes. Sleep.
Sleep. Yes. Oh my goodness. Great. Well, this has been fantastic, sis. Thank you so much. Do we have any other questions before we go? When you say not with toddlers, Bosse, I don't understand.
Okay, about sleeping.
Okay, are you saying that you can't sleep with toddlers?
When you've got toddlers. I once had 3 under 4s.
Yeah.
Ask for help. Ask for help.
Yeah.
Someone can take them for an hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
Daddy can have them
have your tribe.
for an hour. Yeah, he can. We always think it has to be us, we women, that he can. We can do it. And
even when especially when the kids are sleeping, sleep when they're sleeping.
Yes.
Because when
don't run around doing the housework
when
they're sleeping.
Sleep when they're sleeping. Seriously.
Yeah, you're allowed.
Yeah. And there's a question. Let's see. Someone asked about tips for step parenting teens. Oh, that's a conversation for another day. Do you want to answer that? Or
step parenting. I mean, I've never been a step parent, but one thing I can say is this. You have to have enough love in your heart for other people's children. You have to try to love other people's children.
Yeah.
The way that you love yours. It's not going to be exactly the same.
Yeah.
But try. And I would also say every action provokes a reaction.
Every action provokes a reaction.
Every action provokes a reaction. I don't think it's possible to love a person, a child, a young person, a young adult, and love them from your heart and they won't return it. It's unlikely.
Yeah.
Don't be political.
Yeah. And I guess also you have to
and just pray.
See things from their own point of view, because you might either be coming into the relationship that they've had with their father or their mother, and it will be tough for them and probably tough for you too. Yeah,
it will. As I said, I may not be the best advice, the best source of advice, because I've never been a step parent. But I can only say every action provokes a reaction. Yeah.
Okay, let's call it a day. Thank you so much, sis. We really, really do appreciate you for the nuggets, for sharing your story. We love you. Can we show her some love, please? Show her some love, love.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. It's been really amazing. Thank you.
Folks,
get your mugs if you haven't gotten Yes, get your mugs. Get your
I'm gonna get
mugs.
a mug. Yeah.
So we'll see you next week by the grace of God. God be with you. Please stay safe. This thing is still out there.
Stay safe.
Stay
It is.
safe.
And it's real.
And it's real. Yes, it's real. And by God's grace, He will protect us. He will shield us. And we'll all cross over into 2021 by the
2021.
grace of God.
It's hopes for 2021.
Yes.
Great plans for 2021.
I'm hopeful. I'm quite hopeful.
It's going to be a great year.
It will, by God's grace. Thank you, folks.
Yeah.
God bless you. Sis, love
Thank
you
you
lots.
all. Love
See
you too.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone.